So hello, ladies and gents. I'm just gonna start just asking Urmi what it is you do, what your career is, and how you sort of got into that career.
Sure. So my name is Urmi and I work in the financial services industry. I been working in this industry for about 6 years, and basically I started with an educational background in finance. I did my university in Canada, so in Montreal, Canada. I had basically a background in honors in finance, where basically I wrote a thesis about art and wine investing, and then I wanted to continue on this path, and that's how I started my career in finance. I worked for like big companies like State Street. Then I moved on to Maples Group, and now I'm doing sort of like a career switch. So, like many people during the pandemic, I also switched a couple of jobs. So, in a couple of weeks, I'll be starting in a new place.
All right. And a quick question straight off the bat is just at university in Canada, because obviously we were educated here in the UK. How do you feel? Do you feel as a female going into the financial services industry, you required a bit more confidence than maybe the males, or do you think that it was quite even playing field?
No, I think we need a little bit more confidence compared to, like other fields, especially because I've seen it also when I was in during my undergraduate, when I would go to the class, I would always see like a bigger population of male. So we were made like there was a lot of guys in the class, and there was only like few girls. So I noticed it initially when I was taking classes, but I never paid attention to that. But now when I think about it, like when I think about it retrospectively, I can see that okay, finance is so like male dominated. There are like very few women working in the financial industry. And when I started working, I've started to see it, especially when I was looking for jobs. I could see that many companies were mainly men dominated. And I think as a woman, you have to be bold and you have to be really, really confident that you are okay to work with such a big population of men. But it also, you're setting an example for other women. So I remember that like I initially would feel discouraged, but it was not something that was stopping me from trying, because I was like, I just still want to like break the ceiling and be an example for what other women. So I still like continue to this path, and I'm still trying to break that ceiling basically.
Yeah. So that's really interesting that you say about sort of male domination, because I know in your free time, Ormi, that you teach girls and women about finance, don't you? That's something I read up on.
Yes, so I have my own blog, and basically like I try to talk about finance and other personal stuff, like how to work for a promotion, or how you can develop yourself, so doing public speaking things. So I use that like to write articles, but I also mentor women and girls, and through my volunteering activities, and in those one I also try to like help out other women so that they can empower themselves, so that they can become more confident and become more knowledgeable. So I do that a lot with a lot of volunteering activities, and I do that a lot with my podcast and also with my YouTube channel. I try to do that too.
Yeah, you're on YouTube, so is that where you create your videos to help educate women and girls about the financial industry?
So the goal of my blog, yes, that was my initial plan, but then I noticed that it was not like that. I was attracting a little bit of like both men and women. And on my YouTube channel, again, it was really like open to everyone. But then I started to notice it was mainly attracting like a lot of men, and I think it's because I talk a lot about like how to study for the CFA program. So I think because of that, I do get a lot of men like subscribing. I think they are much more interested. So even though in the initial plan was like only women, but it seems like it just took sidetrack and it just are targeting other people. So I'm still okay with that. I think we still have to live in a world which is gives equality and feel represented, and have diversity. So I'm still okay with that. But I do try to do that more in my volunteering activities, where the actual organization is supporting women. So in that sense, I also like just target that niche, which is helping out women.
Mm. Well, I think even Sols and I sort of experience it a bit where we're trying to make this podcast a place where we get all sorts of people from all different walks of life. But even our first few episodes have been heavily male dominated, and we find it difficult to try and attract women to come on. I don't know why. I don't have the answer to that, but something that we're also trying to focus on, because I feel if you're only getting one type of person, you're only getting one side of the story. And as well, I know we have female listeners, and it's really important for them to hear from a female that they might aspire to be or be in the same career or profession as, to hear about how their levels of confidence have helped them get to where they are today. So putting gender aside, have there ever been in recent times a situation where you've had to use your confidence to excel, or maybe have you had to use your confidence to put yourself in a position that's outside of your comfort zone?
Yeah, I think for me, it's been more like an everyday process where I have to use my confidence pretty much every day. And I try to use it every day. So for instance, when I was working my previous company, I wanted to work for a promotion. And I think when you want to work for a promotion, you have to show that you have the skills, you have the knowledge, but you also have to be very confident that you are okay to raise this concern, that, this is in your plan. And that's one moment where I use my confidence, and I use it pretty much like twice every year. I was always like bringing this topic up that, I want to get a promotion. So I would like lay out a plan. So that was one time that I used it. The second time, it was basically this year. So I went through a lot of interview process, and basically I went for a year where I was pretty much getting rejected for all the job application. And then it just happened that this year I got 3 job offers, and I had to make a decision. So when you are making a decision and you're rejecting something, you have to be confident. Like you have to make sure that you're making the right decision that is aligned with your goals. So that was the second time where I used it. And the third time is basically with my public speaking club. So basically, I'm part of the Toastmaster club. So I am the president of the club. And, I think when you're a leader, you have to show your confidence skills. And we've been having a little bit of trouble in the club because of the whole situation with the pandemic, where we're not able to get people to come to the meetings. And I had to really step up and just like tell my executive team that, look, things are not working. We have to work together to make sure that we're able to retain people, and I need everyone to work. So I had to really like be bold and be like firm about it. And again, you have to show your confidence. And I think when you are especially a leader and you have the confidence, it shows that you are respected, and it shows that you're a valued person. So it really shows a lot also, like in the way you present yourself, in the way you dress, in the way you carry yourself. Like this is also where confidence is used pretty much every day.
Yeah. So, Urmi, what was your motivation behind actually joining Toastmasters? Because I know that they do, so it's about communication, public speaking, and also leadership, which you touched on.
Yes, it was, so I pretty much joined it like 3 years ago. And basically my main motivation is because I want to do a TED Talk eventually.
Okay.
And I knew that public speaking is it's a scary topic, but it was something that I was like trying to follow a little bit my gut. I tried to follow my fear, and I was like, if I can follow the fear, if I can go over this, then I will be able to conquer it and be a bit more confident. So that's how I like started to go to the public speaking club, and it's been very, very, very scary, but I had this motivation in mind, this objective that was, I want to do a TED Talk eventually. So that's how I stayed and I continued, and I'm very persistent and very determined. So I've been there for 3 years, and I've been part of the executive team as well. So I was the VP of Education, and then I became the president. So it's the second year that I'm running as president. And definitely I feel like every time I go to the meeting, every time I talk, it just makes me a little bit more confident than the meeting before. So it really does help me. I can see how it really helped me, in every aspect, especially for when it comes to work as well, because you have to have good communications, you have to have good teamwork and leadership skills. And I can see how like public speaking or Toastmaster really helped to build my confidence. So yeah.
And so you've come on podcast, and is this something that you do regularly? Come on podcasts?
I do. I actually, yeah, it's been a regular thing, and it's been a thing that I started. It was a goal that I had last year towards the end of the year. I don't know why I was getting rejected. Then I was like, you know what? I'm still gonna continue. I'm still gonna try to sell myself. And since I think the beginning of this year, I went pretty much to 1 or 2 podcasts every week. So since January, and it is something that I like to do because I think it's just like I'm getting out of my comfort zone. And I think it's only when you get out of your comfort zone that you become more confident. So it really did help me to become more confident. And I do enjoy like having this conversation with people that I just meet randomly from different parts of the world and just see their perspective. Because I think also like learning from other people's perspective and ideas, it also helps you to build confidence. So I became also very much comfortable having these interviews, and it is something that I really, really enjoy. And it does give me the exposure that I'm looking for as well.
Yeah, I think it's one of those special mediums that, I mean, for me, as Solas knows, Solas is exactly like me. We love talking to people. We love meeting new people. It's literally what we did throughout university from day dot. There's no sadness leaving university, because the podcast is a way where you can learn those lessons that you were learning from new people, but on a much broader scale, and across multiple countries. Just a quick question from me, and then I'll pass back to Solas, is where do you think you'd be today if you didn't have the confidence that you clearly have?
It's a tough question, to be honest, and I never thought about it. I honestly, I think I always had the confidence in me. I just never really explored that. So I feel like I would have been in the same place. I think I would have still took this path because I don't see myself doing otherwise. Like I don't see myself not doing this. And I think the reason why I'm saying this is because I always follow my curiosity to try and explore new things, which is why it brought me to be the person that I am. So when you ask me that question, I don't think I would have seen myself in other places but this. And I think this is the right path. It would always be in this path because I think I just follow my curiosity to try and do new things, which I really, really enjoy.
100%. I always get confused as to when, for some reason, especially in my generation a bit, and those younger than me, the curiosity to try something new has suddenly become uncool, or something that people just don't want to do anymore. And I don't know whether it's because of the pandemic or just because of technology or whatever it is, but it seems that there's a bit of a lack in wanting to take that leap of faith. And that's the point of this podcast. That's the point of the Solvitur podcast, is to try and encourage people that it is okay to make that leap of faith. It's really nice to hear.
As far as sort of trying new things, so I know that you speak 5 languages as well. I think maybe 3 or 4 of them are fluent, and I think Spanish, it was sort of more conversational. But how did you find getting into that or learning that? Was it just sort of easier after you learned a couple, or?
So basically, so basically Bengali and Italian were pretty much my native language because I was born and raised in Italy and my parents are from Bangladesh. And then when I was in school, they actually taught us how to speak English, French, and German in Germany, but then I forgot the last one completely. I was like, yeah, forget it. I don't remember any of it. So English was pretty, I took like 8 years of English courses, so that was pretty intense. Then I had 5 years of French courses when I was in Italy. And then when I moved to Canada, of course, then where I live in Montreal, it's pretty much bilingual. So you have to know how to speak English and French. And then I took some Spanish classes. So Spanish was not so bad, actually. Like I took 3 classes. And because I know Italian, I think it really helps me a little bit to really understand people. And I always try to practice Spanish as much as I can. So I try to like watch YouTube videos. I try to listen to podcasts because I think it's very, very important if you want to like keep your memory fresh and you want to make sure that you practice it. So has it been difficult? Not really. I think I was always like had that capacity to learn languages, and I think I always really enjoyed learning different languages and learning about different cultures. And I do really like, I think I have like a special place for Spanish, even though it's the one that I know the least. I think it's just like, I don't know, I just love the sound of people speaking Spanish, and I love Spanish songs. But the other four, like it's just because I have to use English and French on a regular basis, and then I have to speak Italian Bengali at home. So I'm speaking different languages during the day.
If it's any consolation, I've got a special place for English because it's the only one. Just before we wrap this up, because I know you're very busy. Do you have any questions for myself or Alex?
Oh, well, tell me what was your experience on getting confidence, maybe?
Alex, why don't you?
I'll let you go first.
You go with this one,
mate. I've sort of been a bit like you, Urmi, in the sense that when I was reading your blog, one thing that stuck out was it said, be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And that was sort of what I found going through school. So I tried to put myself in as many uncomfortable situations as possible. So there was, I think, drama, Model United Nations, sports, that kind of thing. And that carried with me into university. So it's just sort of been getting outside of my comfort zone that's helped me become a bit more confident and grow my comfort zone. So so that's my short and sweet answer. But Linus, I'll crack on to you. I'll pass over to
you. I'd say for me, I'm more scared of what people don't think of me rather than what people think of me. So from that perspective, if you want people to think great things of you, you have to do great things. And to be able to do great things, you have to be outside of your comfort zone sometimes. So from that perspective, it means that confidence isn't a choice. It's more of a guarantee. It's more of a way of life. You've just got to instill in yourself from a young age, but it's never too late to develop it as well. So that's what did it for me. I insist. I don't wait to be told. I just go and hope for the best. Get the courage. But yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. This will be episode 7, which will be out in next Friday. And all those listening, thank you very much. And obviously, link to socials will always be down below. And I'll also put a link to your socials if I could, Urmi, just in case anyone's got any questions. It could be about female confidence for finance industry, could be about the finance industry in general. I'm sure Urmi can accommodate. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.